do a quick sound check. Moderator, please let me know how I sound. Thanks for joining me again, you guys, on a Saturday. What's up, Stefan? I'm so glad you finally made it. I know how tough it is to schedule something like this, you know, on a weekend and in the States and everything. So let me know if you guys can see me and hear me okay. Hey, what's up, Trevor? Thanks for joining us. This is awesome. Okay, let me know how I sound right now. Awesome. Okay, you guys, thanks again for joining me. It seems like sound is okay. What's up, Anthony? What's up, Trevor, Andre, Richard, Nicholas? What's up? Yay! So this time, I feel like this time is going to be really good for streaming. So I will keep that in mind for everybody overseas and in another part of the country. What's up, Xavier? Sorry that I got the wrong time. You know how I am. I suck at like time zones and dates because I normally don't even look at my calendar because I'm so wrapped up in my work that I don't actually look at the calendar unless I absolutely have to. So I'm like really bad with calendars nowadays. So awesome. Hey, what's up, Sean? What's up, Voodoo 4? Awesome. All right, so you guys ready? Ready to see what I finally get to work on? So I just finished the Rockefellers #9 yesterday afternoon. Turned it in, waiting on edits and colors and stuff. But so yeah, I was like looking forward to actually finally working on Neo Wonderland again. I put it on hold for quite some time now. So this is what I'm going to be working on full time now. So this and commissions that I have on my current commission list, so that I could finance my my lifestyle. So yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing the whole time. And our anticipated launch for the Kickstarter is going to be sometime mid to late October this year. So more news in the upcoming weeks ahead while I really buckle down and do this whole thing. So. Oh, thank you. I love Brazil. Thank you, Andre. Yeah, great news, right, Stefan? Whoo, took forever. I think the first time I talked to you guys about this was in Amsterdam during the signing at Hank's. And I asked Stefan and a few other people, like, what do you guys think of like a black and white manga like book? Even though this technically isn't going to be in black and white, it's still gonna, you know, have the same vibe because I'll be coloring it as well. With Clip Studio paint for the most part. I might do some watercolor washes and ink washes, and release the black and white edition of this as well. So, hey John, fire, let's go! Football season's happening again soon too. Hey, what's up, JD? Oh, Jim, we had a panel at Fan Expo. That's right. Oh my gosh, thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me. I forgot that there was conventions happening. You know, like this is my little convention, right, guys? You heard it here first. Neo Wonderland is coming very, very, very shortly. So let's see. Where do I start? You know what? Let me show you the layouts for this page first. Funny enough, this is actually really flimsy copy paper, and I was just like gonna do rough layouts on this, and then I was gonna light box it and then ink it like that. But then I liked the fluidity of the lines so much, and the I guess you could say my mark making with the pencils, that it's like, well, I don't want to have to redraw it and it's going to be all stiff, you know what I mean? Tim Olson, yes, I am on X. My screen name is like Sia Ohm. It's pretty much like Sia Ohm across the board on all the social media networks. So, and let's see here. Okay, so let me see if I can find the layouts for this page right here so you see what I mean. So this right here is the initial layout that I had, and then I decided, you know what, I didn't want it to just be this page right here, so I added I added and modified a few things, and so it's not going to look exactly alike here, but at the same time, I liked the angle and everything, so I'm going to keep it kind of the same. So this is what I normally use for layouts. I basically just, I do this in Photoshop or Clip Studio, however you want to do it, based off of 11 by 17 comic book paper. I just fit it onto 4 sheets of 8.5 by 11 printing paper, and then I go and do my layouts like that. Now that's what I do when I have a lot of time, but in all honesty, that's not going to happen this time, I think. So whatever layouts I have right now, I think I'm just going to just work with that, but I think I'm going to go directly to like 11 by 17 or right on the comic book page because I don't have like a whole lot of time to noodle around and plan overly plan the whole thing, since it's going to be between 44 to 48 pages of story, so 2 issues for the first Kickstarter campaign. So I want to make sure that I'm moving right along, you know. So, hey, what's up, Ray? Thank you for hanging out with us. And yeah, black and white would be really awesome. So, I mean, I would prefer the black and white, honestly, but I feel like for the first go around, it's good to just start coloring it and stuff so that there's 2 versions of it. Like, but I will treat it as if it's a black and white book, so I would spot all the blacks where I would want it to go and everything. So, all right. So, yeah, I think this might be the final version of this page, if I ink it and I like it, because there's a few pages where I had to go in and actually redo it because I drew them so long ago and I wasn't really happy with it. And here's Pocky in the issue. See, it says right here redraw, so I might have to redraw this page a little bit, but yeah. But I like Pocky's expression so much. I might have to like do some Photoshop tricks or something, so where I just crop out some of the Pocky that I like, and then, you know, superimpose them on another page, or what we would like to call it, like patching a page. So here's Pocky again, his little attitude. So, all right, Stefan, the dibs on Pocky page. Oh my God, you're gonna see plenty of Pocky. Trust me on that one. Let's see if I have more Pocky pages. I can't show you guys the whole entire book because A, spoilers, and B, I don't want to get flagged for like showing graphic violence, you know. So here's another page. I worked on this a bit ago. So this is when the Saint and Shin were little kids, and it's like snowy. Yeah, it's not hard to get a channel strike, that's for sure. So I'll show a little bit more of these, and then I'll start inking. Oh, thank you, JD. Yeah, this was fun. I'm just stoked. You know what's nice about making your own story is you could just add and subtract pages whenever you want to, which is the advantage of, you know, writing and drawing your own work. And I know, like in Japan and, you know, manga and even South Korea and stuff, they basically, the writer artist does all of that, and they, you know, they write they do the lettering on the page, or they plan it out. And so I'm kind of going with the more Japanese manga approach to my book because of the oh no, snagged my hair on the microphone. Sorry, guys. So, well, thank you so much, Emolas. Yeah, so Voodoo 4, yes, I will be using the Menzo brush, which is this brush right here. So this will be my main brush, and then I will probably use this one for the like thicker brush strokes that I'd want to, you know, go ahead and like the hair and stuff. It's really good to outline with this one if you want like a thicker outline, because this one, like the Kiritaki, tends to run kind of like really thin, so it's really hard to see it. It might look good in person, but then when I go and shrink it down into comic book size, it is like really hard to see some of the lines, and then trying to color through it is just like, it's kind of rough. So I'll use these two, I think, for the most part. And then What's nice about this one is when you're doing backgrounds, even like straight lines, it tends to hold pretty nicely. And doing like action lines and what do you call it? I can't speak right now. So doing lines is really good with this one right here. And what else are we gonna use? Okay, we might use some nibs this time. I might have to go buy a thicker nib for the I cannot speak today. Um, fountain pen, I guess we'll call it that. And I have like so many different pencils I will use. I'm probably gonna go with an HB, and then let's see, and so HB, and then like the Blackwing, the softer lead, because I'm speeding through this whole thing, and I want to be able to just like not think and just draw. And I haven't done that in a while, where I was able to like just kind of space out and just zone in on everything I'm doing in my flow state. So hopefully I'll be able to do that this time around. Speed lines, yes, thank you, Richard. That's what I was thinking. Tachikawa pen holder. Yes, you guys know all my supply, so that's awesome. Nothing new here. Nothing new here. Oh yeah, the Carpenter pencil, the Home Depot, the famous orange Home Depot Carpenter pencil is amazing for doing really thick lines, really quick, rough, and you don't like overthink it and stuff. So, alrighty, so let's do a little bit of inking right now. We gotta put the glove on. And I'm like working through my whole entire, like, let me see if I can show you guys. Like right here. So this is my Sumi Ink 60. And pretty soon we're going to run out of ink. It's like really, really empty and kind of thick right now. But I think I like it better this way. That way I can just like thin it out, or if I want like a lot of texture, dry brushing, this is really good even though there's not a whole lot of ink in there. And I just basically spray it with water. So that way it's still kind of wet, and then I'm like, I'm a cheap ass, so it's nice to be able to like use all of this without, wasting it. Okay. All right. Let's get started. Shen asked, how is it like living in Windows XP all the time? It's pretty awesome. And if you want to call like all of the backgrounds for the Apple or the Mac, yeah, if I had the default photo, that's what it looks like. It's pretty epic and amazing. All right. This is really thin copy paper, so I'm hesitating about like inking on this right now. It's going to bleed through. But let me show you the multi-liners that I use if I'm not like using my nibs. It's some pretty cheap stuff off of Amazon. Like this one is it's Bianyo sketch liner. I like this, but they do run out of ink pretty quickly. And of course the Copic multi-liners, and then I have like, oh gosh, I use everything. In fact, I bought a bunch of different ones just to try it out to see which one looked the best if I was like speeding through pages. So let's try all of these out. Chisel. So this is a chisel edge, and then this is a 3. So these should work. Tim Olson, do I listen to music when I'm writing? As long as there's no lyrics in the music, I will listen to it, or it's complete silence, or it's like background noise at a coffee shop or something. So that's kind of how I get into the groove of writing. And let's see what I'm. Yeah, Stefan, you're right. Don't overthink, but it's really hard for me like not to overthink it because it's been so long, and I'm like putting so much pressure on myself to do this the right way. I mean, not perfect, but I think I care enough about the story that I don't want to, you know, kind of just breeze through it. But for sure, I feel like I'm ready. The story is kind of where I'm at. Ironically enough, the world has gone the way that the story I planned turned out, and I was like, wow, well, I wasn't expecting that. So now my story is almost like it's almost like I'm copying real life with the AI and and stuff like that. So, but then again, it's cyberpunk. I guess there's not a whole lot of different genres that kind of focus on technocrats, technology, and how we interact with it and interface with it and stuff like that. So, JDC of the Prophet. Yeah, I don't know. Much of it was very unpredictable at all, though, you know? So, Tifa asked how long the story is going to be. Well, I have 6 issues planned for the first volume, but the story I'm thinking is going to be like I did with Lola, which is at least 24. Is it 24 issues? Yeah, about 24 issues or so. But I'm just going to keep going to see, to see how long the story is going to be. Because I do have like a good ending to the first, I guess, story arc. It's kind of like with Lola XOXO. I had like the first story arc ending, and then it's like, depending on, how things go, then I would be able to like expand on the world that I built already. Hey, what's up, Mark from Baltimore? What's up? Hang loose, man. Um, Prophet was a cool comic book. I don't remember reading that one. Okay, let's see here. So I'm just warming up right now. I was inking last night, as you guys saw. Let's just move this over here, make some more room. And I don't know if you noticed, like, that I have a cutting mat, like, underneath my table now for perspective, because, like I said, right now I'm trying to speed through the process. So I'm doing whatever it takes to speed through it without, like, taking shortcuts necessarily. I don't want to have to resort to, like, doing things on the computer outside of maybe coloring and lettering and design. So, okay, now he's got 2 eyes. Yay! It's kind of weird looking at him with, like, 1 eye for a couple of days. So yeah, this is the pen that I use when I'm trying to like go really fast. It's the Pigma FB by Sakura. The problem with this pen is it's like it runs out of ink pretty quickly, or it gets dry. So, and let's see, here's a sketch liner from Bianyo. So let's try this one out. TwitchCon, Shen? No, I won't be going there. So I'm thinking as soon as my book is done, then I can start looking at conventions and where to go. Just because this is such a huge undertaking, I just want to focus on this. But I'm sure that when I'm done, I'm just going to skip and hop and just sing my way to all the conventions, because I'm glad to finally get it done. Oh, thank you so much for the super chats, Mr. Docs. Morning, afternoon, and evening, see you in chat. I've got my beers for an amazing live drawing. Yay! Cheers! Cheers, Mr. Docs. Thank you so much again. So besides the beers, are you actually going to be watching any TV after I finish streaming, or anything good on right now? I shouldn't say TV, I should be saying streaming, because football season has not technically started yet, but no, we're getting ramped up for that. We have a couple of I'm going to be in one fantasy league again this year with the Aspen Comics guys, so. Oh, Tim, my art rep, she's gotten a couple of conventions that I might be going back to, since I've been so out of the loop for a few years. I'm just going to kind of wait and see how I feel about it, and so. Okay. I am gonna use different pen to show you guys. So, let's see. So this is the chisel. So this one's really good also for doing straight lines and stuff. without using a ruler if you don't want to. Yeah, so this is my other favorite pen. Okay, so what else did I want to show you guys? You know what? Let me show you the script or the formatting on that really quick. Oopsies. I'm about to lose my page. Make sure there's no spoilers. Okay, so this formatting is like a cross between comic books and screenplays in a way, even though the formatting is kind of to the left, but it's using Courier font, which is what you use for screenplays, and I'm using Final Draft to do the script, and I have like a template made out where it just formats everything for me, which I love. It, to me, it works a lot better than like, you know, Microsoft Word or what's the one, Pages, something like that with the Apple computers. So this is the software I use for scripting. So I'm gonna probably not do scene descriptions. What I might do for the letterist is just have a script with the lettering and the panel number and who's saying the words, so that he knows how it flows, because I'm changing so much of the script right now as I'm drawing that, and adding and subtracting pages, that I don't want to spend all that time writing a whole entire complete script. Like, you know, I would do that normally, but right now it's like I said, I'm in such a hurry to get it done that I'm not actually doing the whole thing. So Google Drive would be really cool, yeah. And I also like using Final Draft just because, like, I'm, you know, I'm trying to work on screenplays and stuff, so I think it's just good practice to kind of get familiarized with the Final Draft. And it translates easier when I'm having someone read my script as well. Even though I think it'd be really nice to have it on Google Drive, like for, if I had another writer working with me, I'd probably do it to where they could see the script and then they could edit and stuff like that, like the editor, so. Okay, let's try to ink on actual comic book paper. And let's try to ink one where someone's not getting punched in the face, which is quite a few pages right now. So also getting punched in the face, getting kicked in the face. There's a lot of action in this comic book. I'll show you one of the flashback pages when he's coming out of school. So let's see. So Voodoo says, I'm always annoyed with pen liners because the ink is not as black as the brushes or nibs. Agreed. Sometimes that is a problem. And then if you're not careful and then you try to like make it completely black and white, then it's really, the lines don't look as crisp, I guess. Let me just put this in here. Do you have any tips for backgrounds, create sceneries? I find it really hard sometimes. My brain rather focuses on the characters. Oh my gosh, you and all of us. Backgrounds was like the one thing when I was, you know, practicing to become like a professional comic book artist. Like that was the one thing that just like I knew I had to get really good at it or like it, or else it's gonna not work out for me, because that's like a huge part of drawing manga and comics, you know. Let's see if I could. So here's one of the scenes. I think like the more references you see, that you know you get excited about, the easier it is to come up with a background, kind of, you know. Like rarely do I do something completely from scratch now. Like it's good to use a ton of different references, and so you have like a visual library in your head. Make a mood board or a lookbook, I guess, for what you're trying to draw, and especially when it's environments that don't really exist in real life necessarily, or a location, and so you kind of use a mishmash of different things just to do that. Obviously learning perspective and making backgrounds interesting is really important. And yeah, like my editor, the first editor I had, he told me, David Wool, like that I needed to work on backgrounds, make it more interesting. And when I was doing the workshop at DC, it's the same thing. And what they taught me, which I will never forget, was treat Gotham City, or like it's its own character, because Gotham City has its own characters, and everything inside of it is kind of like it shapes the people and the things that exist and inhabit the city. So I'm treating, so I call this place Shangri-La. I'm treating this as if it's its own character, and so whatever is inside this place is going to become its own character, and that way it's much more exciting and appealing to draw backgrounds in it, and I'm hoping that I get this 1-2-page spread background done before the Kickstarter, and then you guys can see, maybe I'll do a whole process video on how that happens too. So let's see if I have any more here. So here's part of, like, this is so ridiculous. I'm probably gonna have to draw this page over again, and have to cover up the guy flicking him off. So I'm probably gonna redraw this. This panel right here is double page, so it's like two 11 by 17 sheets of comic book paper put together, and I'm not really happy with it because it's too, I don't know, like I feel like there could be a better angle and more going on that illustrates the story and what's happening. So Sean Gordon Murphy, he's really good at making backgrounds interesting, and also very, the story is also kind of a part of his choices for how he approaches a background, or scenery, I should say. Rob's art, thank you so much for the super chat. So Rob says, hi Sia, just wanted to say thank you for being an inspiration. I landed my first comic book gig last year and we were about to finish it. Oh my gosh, great job. Congratulations. That is like the coolest thing to hear, because it's really hard, and once you land your first gig, it means the world. It's like, I can't do this. Like, that feeling of accomplishing it or finally making it is, that's freaking awesome. Congratulations again. Come on, you guys, let's go. Let's do this. Like, we should all like try to land our first gig, or publish our first story or book. Like, even if you published 5 pages and like let everybody here know, that would be awesome, because I think that was the hardest thing, was just getting 5 pages done at first. And I remembered, like, and they weren't that good, the ones that I did, but like I just felt good knowing that I finished it for what it's worth. So you know what, that's awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, I think in the next stream you should like maybe leave a link in the comments or here to the book once it's done, so we all could like really help celebrate your accomplishment. That's awesome. Oh yeah, the stickers from Tatiana. So my art rep, she made stickers of Neo Wonderland. We're all here for you, Rob. That's awesome. Well, we're all here for each other. So if you guys have anything that you're doing that you're wanting to kind of get feedback on, or just to celebrate, I mean, by all means, drop a link in the comments, in the chats, whatever, just so you can get your stuff out there. It's amazing. That's why we're here. Like, it's kind of why I'm here. It's like I've been doing it for a while, and I feel like I get a lot of energy off of and feed off of other people's enthusiasm and desire to get better. And I don't want this industry to die without at least like us giving it like a really good attempt at just keeping it going and then making it something different. I know there's like an evolution to it. So okay, let's start trying to find some ink here that's not violent. Okay, he's bleeding. Oh my gosh. Okay, you know what? Let's just ink this page I have here, this test page. Oh, nice. Xavier, you finished M&M Venom. I remembered you mentioned it, I think, 2 streams ago. So, that's awesome. You know what? This is unavoidable. I'm gonna have to ink some pretty some pages that have a a lot of fighting, so oh well. So, yeah, you guys all got this. For sure, Rob, for sure. I think we could all improve regardless, you know? So that's amazing. And it's only going to be you doing more from here, you know? Sorry, camera just died for 2 seconds, I think. So let's ink with a Kiritake. Good afternoon, Devastator Omega. Cool name. So Clint asks, is there any good online platforms to post your art? And a lot of people use Webtoons. I think that's kind of the go-to, and it's good to just kind of get feedback and get your name out there. And then Instagram, and I think Instagram's really good for that still. So if you're doing that, I know Instagram has a weird algorithm where you get kind of buried, but it's just good to kind of get used to posting. And, you know, some people say it's better that you don't have a bunch of people who know who you are and your work already, so then you could just get better and improve as you go. And I know a lot of you are like that, but definitely Webtoons is like the most common one, I think, that everybody's posting their stuff to. Richard, you're working on a 60 pager? Oh, awesome. Yeah, pencils. Ideally, if I had more time, I think I would just straight up pencil and then go back and ink everything. But since I'm doing it this way, I kind of batch them in pages of 5, where I'll draw or pencil 5 pages and then start inking it so that I feel like I'm making progress. So JD asked, do you scan your pencils before ink? Sometimes I do. Depends on who I'm working with. Like if the editors need to see the pencils before I start inking, just to make adjustments, then yeah, I do scan my pencils. I probably should have done that with this. In fact, you know, after today, I'll probably scan all the pencils that I finished, so that way I have record of them, and then it'd be kind of cool to have like an all penciled like version of the sketchbook or something. I wish I could listen to music as I ink, but you know, copyright strike would not be fun, right guys? See how, remember when I told you that the ink is almost out? It actually is not bad. So if I was to do it correctly, what I do is I outline the characters a little bit more before I start really inking. That way I feel like I've covered a lot of ground and I see really broad shapes before I go into the detail. And it also helps with like composition and everything too. So big, broad outline shapes first, and then detail. So, and I like to ink faces last, just because, you know, because if you, like I say, like if you screw up the face and it doesn't look as good, and then the whole thing is all screwed up. So I like to be really careful with the faces. But if you focus only on the faces first as well, like, and you have a bunch of pages to turn in for deadlines, then it's kind of tough to do that. This has a lot of ink in it. It's kind of thick. I like it when it's kind of dry and it's not super thick, because then I could go in and make it thicker later. But once you lay the brush strokes down, if it's too thick, then it just doesn't look good. There's no way to, you know, fix it without using whiteout. So Shogo asked if I like to ink flat or on a curve. Well, when I'm doing pencils, I usually put it on my laptop riser and my light table, and I ink or draw on a curve. But the fact that I'm filming, that's why it's flat. But usually I'll have it raised. Okay, so I'm happy with these lines right here. It's kind of like a dry brush look. So, see, earlier it was kind of thick and um, not a whole lot of control with the size of the brush. I don't know if you guys remember in the last episode, I was drawing the Scarlet Witch commission, so I actually have it right here. I can show you guys really quick. So I did do the hand gesture thing, and so I'm going to be coloring and inking this in a bit so that I could get it sent off to the person who commissioned it. Oh, thank you, JD. Yeah, I think we were trying to figure out what to do with her hands last time, so. Hey, what's up, Joey? Nice to see you. Petting artist from Texas. Oh, yes, the skunk petting artist from Texas. So, Joey the skunk Perez. I'm just joking. Skunks are cute. Okay, what did I miss? I'm getting ready to release my first comic, Ghostface issue number 1, Deja Vu. Like you just said, it's going to be exciting to see my work published for the first time ever. Congratulations, state of art, of the art. That's awesome. See, it's just the little tiny steps. I think the most important thing is getting started, and then consistency comes with like just knowing you accomplished that first step of starting. Because once you start doing that, it's like, well, there's like a sunk cost of your time, and then you're just like, you know what, I'm just going to keep going. So that's why starting is so important. And then why you start is also very important as well. So sometimes you just got to get the stories out of your head, and so you just kind of do it. Like with this story, I think there's like 5 or 6 different iterations of it. The only thing that's really the same is like the basic concept of the island, the 2 brothers, and like, the mafia and stuff like that, and Yakuza. Oh, thank you, Stefan. Cover worthy. I should contact Marvel and say, hey, do you want my Scarlet Witch cover? I mean, my commission for a cover? It's been a minute. So my light table, I think it is 18 by 24. It's a little bit bigger than like 11.5 by 17. Or 11 by 17, sorry. Alexandra, I haven't been to Brazil Comic Con yet, but I'm gonna start planning conventions probably late this spring to see where I could go to after I get this book done, because it's quite the undertaking. Okay, enough noodling with his hair. Let's do his face. So if I had to start all over again, Victory the Great asked, if you were to start all over again to learn how to draw comics or draw in general, what will you do? I would actually, well, if I had to do it now, it'd be easy. It's like I just go on YouTube and watch a bunch of people's videos. Michael Hampton has like a really good YouTube channel right now for figure drawing, and then you got Proco, who's got videos and classes for all sorts of art, like approaches and huge catalog. So I would probably do that, and find books maybe at the bookstore of how to draw like with really pretty pictures and really straightforward and simplified. And there's one thing that I don't think could be said enough, and that is like the business of art. So there's a book called The War of Art, which is about the business of art and just how to approach it. And I think that's extremely important, because in order for me to get better, I feel like I have to be able to sustain myself as an artist, or else like, you're only kind of dabbling into it, and you never kind of get off the ground. And so I would probably focus not only just on the the craft of art, but then also the business side of it. Okay. I'm going to have to keep rotating my paper. Oh, thank you so much, Joey. Yeah, I love watching other artists draw. I mean, if I could, I actually have channels that I watch and I just leave in the background. And it's kind of like someone's drawing with me, and you feel like you're not just sitting at your desk looking at your pieces of paper and deadlines and stuff, which could get kind of scary sometimes. So Xavier, one thing that's been hitting my consistency is doing photography. Are you doing much of that still? I still remember you posting some pretty cool gear. So Xavier, I haven't had the chance to like really do a lot of photography lately because of my comic book deadlines. But recently I went to Yellowstone National Park and went camping and got some really cool videos and photos of bison and like impalas and pronghorn sheep. And what other animals were there? I don't remember. But yeah, I've been pretty busy with this, and I might just refocus my photography and videos on Neo Wonderland and animation and stuff like that. So I'm hoping to get like a short animation going for the Kickstarter. So Joel asks, is Neo Wonderland going to be an ongoing series? Well, if it goes well, like it moves the way it's supposed to, I would love for it to be ongoing. Just because like the numbers have to kind of be there for it to be justifiable. But yeah, I would love to have it ongoing. Currently I have like 3 volumes planned for it, so to finish off the first story arc and everything and the characters growth, I guess. Hello, Masoud from Turkey. Very nice to meet you. And we have Harrion the Goat Gaming. I think you were on last time, right? The Goat. I just love your screen name. I thought it was from Shapes and Lines, though. The reason why I'm asking the question is that I want to draw my own comics. I want to get or better surpass the level of J. Scott Campbell, Jim Lee, and even you. Okay, so in terms of lines, yeah, I guess whoever you want to kind of like a merge between all the artists that you like, and then you kind of put your own spin on it. And if you're talking about shapes, I get what you mean. Like, I think the more you know, like basic anatomy, and you're naturally gonna have an inclination to do your shapes and lines a certain way because there's certain artists that you like and certain styles. So like for Jim Lee and let's just say J. Scott Campbell, they have like a certain rendering style where it's kind of Western, but then not fully in a way. I mean, I don't think there's such a thing anymore anyhow, but maybe it's the way they crosshatch. You probably prefer that, I guess, and then the movements. So by surpassing, I think you mean like just a different style, right? Because their style is kind of them, I guess, in a way, or fully them, and they've been doing it for a long time, so they've already locked down how they approach their style. And I'm still kind of like getting more comfortable with mine because I've been working on my friends' books like Lady Mechanica and the Rockefellers, and that's kind of like those books are started by other artists, so I kind of want to keep the style not exactly alike, but pretty close to what they're doing, so that it's not so jarring when you see my art. Like this right here, I would think it's a little bit more me because I've been drawing like this for a while, minus the really bad anatomy early on and character design and perspective. So state of the art, how much digital work do I put into actual, at the final pages? So I clean it up, like I erase it, but you know, when I'm done inking, I erase all the pencil marks, but then you have to go in on the software and actually make sure it's basically as close to black and white as you can, and then I color it in Clip Studio Paint, and so that's the extent of my post-production with the pages. So unlike Lola XOXO, which I actually did the interiors mostly with Copic markers, ink, and watercolors. So there was very little I had to do with coloring on the computer. I would just have to like fix certain things if I messed up on the colors and stuff like that. And hello, Michael. Thanks for hanging out with us. And then we have state of the art. So see, I like to keep these lines really fine so that if I have to go back in and thicken anything I can, but for now I'm just going to leave it pretty thin so as to not over render anything. So Jordan asked if I've ever posted any drawings from when I was younger, and I did. I have someone, like some of these previous pages, I have some of them still, but I don't know where all my really old stuff is. I'm pretty sure my dad has them. Maybe he hasn't thrown them away already because there's so much paper in his closet in my old room. So I'd have to look, but yeah. I tried to whenever I could find it, but I don't think I brought any old pages along with me this time. You know what? I might. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to see, but I think I have some old Neo Wonderland pages. I'm sure you guys can still hear me because I'm on a wireless microphone, but let's see here. What is this? Oh. Pull this out. Oh, yes, I have it. Oh my gosh. I almost died. I just stepped over my light box. So, should probably put it somewhere else. I almost like ate dirt. So, okay. I do actually have old Neo Wonderland pages. I'm not sure how old this is, but I'm embarrassed to show you guys, but hey, if I show it to you, then you have no excuses not to post your own stuff online. Okay. Yowza. Okay. This is so old. Oh my god. Pretty bad. Love it. Love to see it. So this is like my Neo Wonderland stash of stuff that I did. So I'll show you guys some stuff. I think be kind of fun. Matt, what camera am I using? This is the Canon RP with a 35mm lens, 1.8. So let's see. So here's some sketches of Pocky when I was coming up with concepts for him. And here's some ink and watercolor pieces I did for the character designs a couple years back. And here is the main character, Saint. So this I think I did a couple years ago, and I did him with ink, I think it was. So some of these are fun. And then these are just like my warm-up pages with some early concepts I had for some of the characters. But yeah, I didn't unpack everything yet because we just moved here in May, so I still got all my stuff like just sitting around in boxes. And a lot of these sketches are like for like vibes and how to feel the vibe out for the story and the art and stuff. So you're right, Stefan. I'm gonna have a sketchbook for the Kickstarter. So I'm gonna put all these in the sketchbook basically for one of the backer tiers. Let's see if there's anything else. I think that's pretty much it. And this is the one piece I did for one of the episodes a couple years back. So this was done with, it's like pigmented Bombay ink. So oh, okay. And here's, okay, if I was to do this traditionally, I think I'll just include this in the sketchbook maybe. I was going to color it actually on the board itself, and this is with the Bombay ink, but like I don't know how long this is going to take if I had to do this right now. Maybe you know, after the first Kickstarter, if I'm feeling a little bold, I'll do like a mini story or something just to test it out to see how long it's going to take to do this with just, you know, Bombay inks. So, because that was my initial goal. It's like, you know what, Copics takes too long. It costs a lot of money to refill it. So I would rather just use ink, which would be a lot better. And I was like practicing with this just to see how this would turn out. But I like this page a lot. It's just time-wise, I don't know. I don't remember how long it was going to take me to do. Like I said, maybe I'll do a mini story where I'm just coloring with the markers. Maybe one shot story in that color. So yeah, Stefan, I think maybe I'll do that. So. Because I want to have fun too. So it's not just about like, it's not just about getting the book done. I really, really want to just have it look the way I want it to look. So. And here is like, wow, this is really thick. So I think this is just the concepts for the background, because you know, if I'm going to draw the city all the time, I wanted to get really used to it. And if I didn't get like have fun doing it or enjoyed it, I mean, same thing. But if I didn't get used to doing these type of lines, I figured I'd never get it done. So just breaking down the backgrounds. Let's see. So Sword asked if traditional sells more than digital. If for prints, probably, but I don't think it matters. I think people just like really good art, as long as it looks good. But if it's original art, yeah, definitely. Everything being all traditional helps. And I think this was one of the first pieces I did, like a splash piece from a few years ago, when I was jumping back into the book, when I decided right after Lola Volume 3 that I was going to work on this. So this was kind of like a lookbook for what I had in mind. So yes, Voodoo, I did do a video of this one. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Let's get back to inking. Okay, and the rest is just like Pocky pages basically. And I guess the drawing that I basically use all the time is this one, and then, yeah. So I don't think I did a video of this one because I was in such a hurry to get it done and use it for my promo stuff, so. Alrighty, back to inking. It's funny that I tripped over my light box. I told myself, don't trip over the light box. I told myself earlier when I put it on the ground, and I still did it anyways. That would have been so embarrassing. So I think next week, I gotta talk with my project manager and the team basically to figure out when I could send you guys to the Kickstarter page and the official website and stuff. So maybe by next week we'll have something more solid. And then you'll get to see all the backer tiers that I have planned. And I told myself I just wanted stuff that if someone else had given the option for those type of backer tiers, that I would be happy with those things, like sketchbooks, really cool stickers, keychains, maybe a really cool t-shirt, something like that. Yeah, black and white edition, sketchbook, sketch covers. I'm thinking about doing sketch covers. And have something with the original cover art, and then like interior pages also that you could for the backer tier. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. If you guys have any suggestions that you would love to see, I would like to hear it. Pocky shirt, yes, Stefan. Heck yeah, Pocky shirt. I've been planning this Pocky shirt idea for like a year or two. Maybe with like his butt in the back, like the back side of him, and the front would be just his face, and he's just miserable. Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking that's probably what I'll do. Like, I'll do a like, if you sign up for the newsletter, anybody who's signed up, they could see what the backer tiers are going to be and any suggestions. And I think that'd be kind of good to, like, get an idea of what you guys want and then, you know, how that all works. I mean, I think this is going to be really fun to work with you guys on this. Oh, hoverboard. You know, John, I think that could be possible. Yeah, we just take, like, a seesaw and then we put, like, like a skateboard on top of it, take the wheels off, and then you got yourself a hoverboard. Or you could just take a snowboard and jump off the side of a building, and you just hope that you land, right? Hi, Wims Lore. Thank you for joining us. Oh, thank you so much, Richard. You think my art's good, even though it's old and I'm not too happy with it, but I thought it was good enough back in the day, so hey, you're right. I think my lack of self-awareness back then was kind of how I got going. I was like, yeah, I could do this. If I look at it now, it's like cringe. But, you know, I guess that's how we all start, right? I know, JD. They've been promising us hoverboards since the 80s. Instead, all we have is, like, FaceTime. Which I guess isn't bad. It's the future. And I bet you it's possible, really. It's just like the logistics of like having people hover around on these things and not crash into each other or just do something crazy. I think that's the reason why it hasn't happened. I'm sure the technology is out there. I mean, you know, aliens exist, right? Oh no, actually, this is a brush. Comics for Life. See, it's actually just a brush, but it's such a sharp brush, and I'm really careful with it. And I like, so I keep the tip of it really nice and soft, whereas the top part of the brush, it's what do you call it? It's pretty stiff, so it keeps the brush stabilized. So, Victor the Great asked, how do I start my journey though? I tried to do shapes and lines for like a week, then move to the next thing, but I got extremely boring and I just gave up. Should I just go straight to figures? Um, I just heard recently, and I agree with this. A bunch of different artists, they recommend like if you're gonna study something in art or you want to get better, you want to get very specific about what you're trying to improve on. So if you're doing it because you want to make shapes look the way you want to, then I guess you could draw figures as squares or circles depending on what kind of shapes you gravitate towards, and just focus on. But I don't think there's any way to avoid learning some anatomy. I don't mean like you have to go all and draw the muscles and know the names and stuff, because yeah, that could get kind of boring or overwhelming. So I think it's just focusing on basic shapes, and there's a lot of artists on YouTube. If you like their style, just kind of look at how they approach shapes. Let's see here. I'm gonna screw this up. I don't like how thick this looks. What was I saying? So yeah, if you have focused study where you are going to utilize it, like you're working on a piece, let's just say, and you want to draw like a motorcycle, it'd be good to kind of like go in there and learn how a motorcycle looks in a way, and just break it down into basic shapes. So like maybe a square and then two circles, and then perspective. So if you concentrate your learning on very simple things, I think you probably get through it a lot better than like trying to learn muscles and stuff. Because a lot of people feel like they have to go in there and learn all these muscles, like the triceps, the biceps, and quads and everything, where you have to draw it. But I think you just have to learn the basic muscle groups, without, you don't even have to know the name, and then just draw maybe the angle that you would have on that piece. So for example, if I'm drawing just the top half of the body, there's no real reason to learn the bottom right away. I mean, if it's like that. What's up, Rage? I'm doing good. What did Xavier say? I'm getting to the age that I would like to say grounded as well. I saw a video of Mike Tyson on the hoverboard or whatever. Yeah, I'm going to keep my uncoordinated self on the ground. Great art never gets old or goes out of style, for sure. Sword asked, how do I manage a 9 to 5 and marketing your book? Like the fact that I've been drawing comics for a long time and I'm kind of used to posting my stuff. To me, it's not that hard. It's like, it takes a few seconds to talk, kind of talk about my process and post it online. And it just takes me, I draw about 10 hours a day, so I'm pretty used to it. I think the hardest part is managing or organizing and managing the project and the logistics of it, really. That's why, I have to do other projects and stuff while I'm working on my own, so that I'm not like kind of hoping that things work out and they don't. So, but my 9 to 5 is drawing comic books, so it's not too far off from what I do already. Oh, thank you, Arcade Heroes from Ireland. I'm one of your favorite artists. Thank you so much. That means a lot, knowing that there's thousands of artists out there. 35 years old and just starting, and just wanted to say thank you for inspiring me. Well, you know what, Arcade Heroes, that's awesome. It's never too late, honestly, in my opinion, to improve on your art or just to start drawing. And I've always believed that art is good for just critical thinking in a way, like a creative way of approaching anything, and so you can't go wrong. And I've seen people who say they can't draw, they can't even draw a stick figure, and then they'll just draw consistently for a week or so, and they all of a sudden they improve, and it's just like, so I think it's possible for anybody to draw or at least get better at it. So congratulations. Oh, you know what? I mean, that's why I stream, right? Like, I'm not. If I wanted to sit here and ink without you guys here, I'd probably do it. But yeah, I'm trying to learn how to get better at like talking and inking. Some of my friends could draw and work, but then I can't. And that's not a bad thing because I like hanging out with you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna skip his glasses here because I'm not sure how I want it to look, but I am gonna do something because I don't want to mess this up. I'm gonna use a multi-liner just to do his nose because this Kiritaki is kind of thick. So, okay. I'm making faces. I'm squinting my face and stuff like, "Argh." See, doing that. It's a good thing he's like, it's a fight scene so I can make faces, but if it was like a different type of scene, it'd be kind of weird. I mean, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but this is all my faces. All these faces are me right here making faces before I draw or while I'm drawing. My mom stomachs, hey, thank you for joining. Thank you so much. Echo asked if I thought about Twitch. I did think about streaming on Twitch as well. It makes sense because you know, I'm a gamer and also I love comics, and there is a little tab for artists, and I figured, you know, it's really good, but I have not looked into the logistics yet. I want to do it soon though. Plus I was still trying to figure out my gear. Let me see. I'm gonna have to pose really quick. Cameras are all backwards, so. Okay, so let's draw in his thumb. Stefan, no, I don't use John at all, actually. Once in a while I'll let him pose for me, but he doesn't like to take it seriously, so he just like makes funny faces and gestures, and he just never works out as a model for any of my characters. Oh, thank you, Ink Nation. I would, you know, I'll look into Twitch again. I have an account, I haven't really looked into it, and I forgot my login. Classic. Oh, Penny Witch Benefits. Is that what it is? Pens with Benefits. That's a cool name. Yeah, thank you. That brush is amazing. I love to share it when I discover something new with art supplies because it's like, oh my god, it's just so cool. It's like discovering a new thing, you know, Pokemon, when I discover new art supplies because it makes me happy. Okay, we're gonna skip the sunglasses. I don't think he gets his sunglasses or his glasses knocked off his face yet, so maybe I can draw his glasses so it doesn't look so weird. Okay. Yeah, I have to use myself as a model, and I've seen my friends posting their pictures of themselves posing for for panels. I think Mike Chrome did it, Sean Murphy did it, and then Kari Randolph, he did it. They post pictures of themselves posing as like really pretty women, and it's hilarious. I love it. I mean, for me, it'd be the opposite. I'm posed as like a cat or like a really macho dude like this guy right here. Just imagine me going like this. Like, it's embarrassing. I have to add all these muscles that I don't actually see in myself, so my friends have to do the opposite. So Oh, sorry guys. Echo asked if I have time to do extra characters. Right now, not so much. Like I tried doing that last week because I had a commission, but it was just like it was hard to jump from doing interior pages and then like a splash page. So here's an example of something I did a couple streams ago. So I was able to do that, but that took like 2 or 3 streams just to do. So that was like 3 hours of me just yapping and trying to draw. But 801 would be fun. Yeah, I've drawn her before, and she was obviously a really cool character in Resident Evil, but my favorite would be like Jill or Claire, I think. Who was that? How did you script characters in world building take it great? Oh, thank you so much, Sword. So, it depends. Like, if you mean like actual time, it didn't take too long, but I've had the story concept for 20 years. But if you were to, let's just say, let's go with Lola, because that one took me only like a year to come up with a concept and then start roughing out my characters. And a lot of times these stories, you kind of have them in your head, like something vague, and then a genre you like or a story you want to tell, and then you start to develop the story like that, and it kind of ruminates in your head for a while. And so I think if you really were concentrated on coming up with a story idea, a year I think would be a good time, good leeway to come up with an idea or concept. A lot of times though, when people finally come out and do a story, they've had it, working around in their head for years. So execution maybe a year, but then rumination and just kind of thinking of things that you care about, that you want to tell a story about, that takes a lot longer than that. So I'm sure we all have a story it's like that we want to tell. Okay, that's half of one panel. The Resident Evil 2 remake, yes. I didn't get to play it, but I have a lot of games that I haven't like played yet. But I tried playing Nemesis and the one with Jill, and I was like scared. I didn't want to be chased. But I told myself, like, you know what? Now that I'm working on my own book for inspiration, I should just play video games again, because that's kind of how it all started. It's easy to overwork this, so I'm gonna stop and move on to the next panel. What are your thoughts on the casting for the rumored upcoming live-action Street Fighter film? Echo asked about Street Fighter. I didn't know there was going to be an upcoming Street Fighter film. But truth be told, if I had it my way, oh my gosh. I somehow feel like I think, because of my ego, that I could do a really good Street Fighter movie, since I was such a huge fan from the beginning. And I feel like they never really stuck to the essence of Street Fighter. But you know what? I'm going to go look it up. I had no idea they were working on that still, or rumored. So Comics for Life asked who my inspirations are. Oh my gosh. You mean who isn't my inspiration? You name it and they probably inspired me. So to start, of course, it was always Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, Michael Turner, Joe Benitez, David Finch. All the guys at Top Cow were huge inspirations for me at the beginning. And then we got like, currently it's like Sean Murphy, Matteo Scalera, Obata. I mean, yeah, I have a lot of inspirations. Street Fighter movie sounds ridiculous, Xavier. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to look this up. I'm like, please, this is like the 3rd or 4th iteration of Street Fighter. I know they have to get it right this time, right? I think the anime versions were probably the best versions of Street Fighter movies. Or yeah. So my mom asked, my mom's stomachs. I'm sorry. My mom's STEM mimics asked if I have any tips on publishing. If you mean like to publish your own stuff, I think if you go through Amazon KDP or Ingram Sparks is a good way to self-publish. For printing, I know Mixam does some really good prints for manga and comic books. And if you want to go like mainstream, I guess you'd have to have your work out there where an editor sees what you're you know, what you possibly what am I trying to say? If you want to get like an editor to pay attention or see you, I mean, sometimes going to conventions where they have like portfolio reviews is good, or if you put your work out there on your social media and an editor sees it and they like it, then that's another way to get published. I realize like it's a lot easier to get your stuff in front of people nowadays, but it's also a kind of crowded market in that sense because everybody's online. So, and YouTube's also good in a way. So I saw Joe casting like Xavier. Every time I saw a new casting, I was like, this has to be a joke. So state of the art. Are you doing everything yourself now? Printing our comic is very expensive. What do you use? Yeah, printing is expensive. Print on demand if you can is a good way to go. You're gonna lose some quality, or you could just print a small batch if you're gonna print it yourself. But I'm gonna be doing Kickstarter, so it's gonna be different. But if I were to do it myself, I'd probably go through Mixam and print like a small batch and just sell it on my store and on Amazon and at conventions or something. But yeah, I have publishers I work with, so I have, you know, there's a discount in a way because you're ordering so many copies, and so that's how I'm doing it. I'm going through myself this time around, just for the you know, for the Kickstarter, which is 48 pages, but when it hits local comic book shops, it's going to be broken into 24 pages, I think. So still have to figure that out with the team. Hey Arthur, thank you so much for the super chat, and it's really nice seeing you on the live stream, because I know you were here a couple of times, but I know the times in Europe are so much more different than here, and so it's really fun to see you and Stefan on here. That's awesome. They're going to be cast as Chun-Li. Famous WWE wrestlers might be there, like Roman Reigns. Huh. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into the Street Fighter movie. I did not hear anything about that, for better or worse. I guess we'll see. I'll let you guys know next week what I think of it when I see it. I'm really a harsh critic because I'm such a huge fan. It's like Resident Evil, the movies. I'm a certain way. Like, there's certain things that you cannot, like, it's holy to me. So. I might add his tattoos in post because I did not fully flesh out this character design for this guy, because he's just like, he's a one and done, and he's not, oh my gosh. Do you guys see this little happy face right here with like 2 eyes and like 2 fangs? John drew on my page. I'd walk away from my desk sometimes and he'll write stuff on it. Like right here it says he, and he'll point to it. And yeah, I forgot to erase it. I guess maybe that's his tattoo. It's going to be 2 dotted eyes and vampire fangs. He'll write stuff on my pages. And so I'm like, dude. Luckily, it's with pencils. I could erase it if I want to. But I kind of like it. I think it fits his personality. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to talk to him. Like, bro, stop touching. Aww. Should I even show you guys this? This one, it says, I love you. Oh my God, I didn't see that for some reason. But imagine him saying I love you to the guy he's about to punch in the face. Nice work, John. I got punked. Crazy Cross. Unfortunately, Capcom does not have the required discipline to pitch well-made movies. They are too game quality driven. Over media is just marketing. Man, I would love to buy the rights. I mean, I really, really would love to write the rights to Street Fighter. That way I could get your guys' feedback before I do anything, right? Kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog. They actually figured that whole thing out, didn't they? Joel, yeah, it's cute of John, but then it's also like embarrassing if he could draw anything if I don't see it. In fact, funny story, like I would show up at my hotel and I would unpack my suitcase, and all of a sudden these little letters would fall out, and my girlfriends would be, my roommates would be there, and I'd open up these little letters, and it looked so cheesy, like, oh my God, he makes me look like a complete, like, I don't know, starstruck, love-struck person. I'm so happy we finished one panel today, you guys. Last time we could barely get through one. Okay, where are we at here? Okay, we're gonna, you know what, I'm gonna lock that tattoo in. It's gonna be 2 dotted eyes and then a vampire teeth. So you guys saw it here first, and when you see the book, it's gonna be to remember today. Here we go. Maybe that'll teach him not to draw on my pages anymore. How many, so Voodoo asked how many hours a week do I work on comics? Like yesterday or 2 days in a row, I was pulling like 14, 13-hour days on multiple pages, and because we had to get it done. But you know, for me, it's not that hard to draw all day long, as long as I have to eat, sleep. I get my 7 hours of sleep, and I get my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, and a couple of hours in between to go work out. That's kind of how my day goes. So. I can't believe I picked this page to draw, and I forgot all about the secondhand drawings that someone put on my pages. Okay, so let's work on this panel right here. This is going to be fun, because I get to ink fur, which I love doing. Blurry. Okay, it's not bad. So Street Fighter casting with some Street Fighter review. I'm gonna have to look into this. I mean, when did this news come out, you guys? And how did you find out about it? Was it one of those game streams, like what is it? Recently there was I think PlayStation had their stream for all the games that are coming out. Well, Voodoo, the funny thing is, drawing is work when you have like tight deadlines, and so you can't sit there and like really enjoy it as much as you want to. So I know that like it's definitely a lot more fun than any other kind of work, and I'm fortunate that this is my job, but at the same time it's still a job, and I have to get it done, and I wish I could spend more time like making things look the way I want them to. And so that's the only thing that's not fun about working with tight deadlines, is you can't like sit there and spend all that time on the detail. Like, you know, cover art, you could put all this detail in and composition and, you know, really work through it. But with interior pages, it's really hard to stick to a schedule and maintain a certain level of quality. So you have to find like little shortcuts, I guess you could call them that, or approaches and strategies to make it look good still, even without putting all the detail in. And, you know, that becomes your style as well. And Bison. Oh yeah, remember Raul Julia, the way he played him? Well, oh my gosh. That was such a silly movie, but man, Ming-Na did a great job with Chun-Li, in my opinion. Don't you think? From the classic Street Fighter movie. Echo asked, what are my thoughts on celebrity writing their own comics? Well, if the thing, what's interesting is I think for them, because they read scripts and they are always in movies, they probably have a pretty, good understanding of story structure, what is it, the acts, like screenplays, and how to act in them. And I guess in that sense, they're just adding to their toolkit for what they already know. So if it's a story they want to tell and they're not doing it for just because of a money grab and they just want to do it and they already have the foundation for it because they've been doing it for a long time, then I say go for it. It's a lot like, me being a comic book person who is learning how to write screenplays and make films. And so I'm kind of just adding to the storytelling aspect of my toolkit and my aspirations for what I want to do, because I love telling stories, whether it be animation stories or comic books. So yeah, as long as it's good, more power to them. So this is what is this? It's like a round, just a regular round number 6 brush, and the bristles are a little different. This is like synthetic, so it's like really thin and fine fibers. So it just makes the dry brushing feel a little bit more noticeable. And this is a different brush. It's really small, but I don't really like using this as much because the handle's kind of small, so you're like scrunching your hand just to draw with it. This one's I like this one because of the size of the brush, so my hands fit nicely. It's a lot like this one's kind of nice. So it's really about how it feels in your hands, and so you ink a lot better with them. So. Yeah, Xavier, you're right. I think a lot of times, I hear a lot of celebrities who they all grew up on comic books and they always wanted to do it, and it kind of expanded their, maybe creativity in a different market. And I think that's kind of how it is for a lot of people, from what I know. I have a couple of friends that I wouldn't say friends, acquaintances that they're in a different field, but they've always been, and they're really successful in their field, but they always loved comic books, and it's kind of cool. So. Richard Bob Ross says 3 airs and some hair. So let me see if I can explain this. So a lot of, let's just say, actors or writers and directors, they would have their own production company so that they would source scripts or write their own scripts and get them made as films. And it's the only direct way to really get a film made if no one's hiring you to do it. Because I also have my own production company. It's not because I want to act in it, but I want to do the cinematography and at least just produce something. And so the only way to really get into film was to actually start your own production company where you could hire out, write your own scripts and source out things and just kind of get and then you also make a lot more money as a producer. So you could get your projects made. So a lot of times that's kind of what happens in Hollywood or just in general, just in the film industry, I guess. It's a lot like me doing my own comic book. I could go through publishers, but if I have a certain story I want to tell and I want to pace it a certain way or have it look a certain way, then it's really good to just have your own publishing, at least umbrella to put everything underneath that, and then kind of go from there. So you could at least guarantee your book will get out there and you could make money off of it, and then you network that way as well. So that's why I'm doing it this way, at least for this one. And then you can just partner with a publisher and stuff. So. Oh yeah, the Echo, the Micron brush pens, those are really cool. So I had like a video where I was inking with the brush pens. Remember those? Let me see if I can find it. You know what I'm talking about, like the Pentel pocket brushes. But I think the problem that we all had with it was like when the ink is about to dry, it kind of just like, it bleeds and it's so uncontrollable. Let me see. Like, I don't think you could see it on here, but you could see that the ink, if I wiped it, you'll see it come off. So, oh, here we go again. Man. So yeah, it just comes off, and I love how it looks, but it's really hard to control the bleeding off these brush pens, so I don't really use it just in case it messes up my pages, and it's like, I gotta clean it up again. So yeah, when I get back around to it and have time, and I'll probably like figure out a strategy for preventing some extra bleeding from happening. The number 6, so Pencil Pages asked about the number 6 brush. This brush is not that expensive at all. I got it at Michael's, and it's under Artist Loft, which I think is their brand from Michael's craft store. Yeah, a lot of these brushes aren't expensive, and I do it this way because it looks pretty good regardless. And if I mess it up, it's not like a huge money loss, you know, and it does the job pretty good. So, yeah, usually the brush pens are really cool, and you can refill the ink, but like I've had clogging problems depending on the kind of ink that I use, and you know, bleed problems, and it was just too much effort to try to keep them working and to figure it out. So let's see. Okay, we'll leave this here for now. And move on to the next fist. I am not learning to draw anatomy but basics, and I am improving my drawing, but I cannot draw characters. Why? You know, that's a really common question that people have, like, why don't their characters look maybe the way they want to? I could see if I could recommend some channels that kind of show you how to do character design, because I think design and like execution are two, not different things, but they're pretty much two different disciplines in a way. Hey, what's up, Morris? So, okay, let's see. A lot of people say they're improving their drawing, but they can't do characters, because I think maybe you're still probably focused on making the figures look good, so that when you do the designs, or like you're trying to, stylize the characters, you're still not quite comfortable enough yet. Because I think once you get really kind of good at drawing without having to look at references all the time, you get comfortable, and then I think that helps with like learning, and then all of a sudden designing characters. But I know some people who've already they're like not the best in terms of let's just say anatomy and everything, but they're still good enough to do designs and work for, you know, work on video games and films and stuff like that, and animation, because their designs are good. So it's like focusing on learning anatomy and then design, it's like two different things in a way. Like, what's your focus? Even though you are designing, yeah, it's just you're focusing on two things at the same time, I guess. I don't think I'm explaining it well. Maybe I'll put a reference on the video description for somebody if I find the channel. I forgot what his name. I think it's Marco. I think it's Bucci or something like that. His name is Marco on YouTube, and he has a really cool channel about character design. So, yes, ADIR. Yeah, if you guys have any recommendations for channels that are really that teach you character design, and that would be great, because I cannot explain my way out of this right now. But yeah, there's quite a few that are really good. I guess also, I guess one way to look at it is like, what's the story behind your character, and that kind of helps put together what they're wearing and maybe their powers or weapons or whatever. So if there's like a purpose, and you know, as part of the story, like how you design around that. And I know Pixar has a good visual Bible about that, like, you know, shapes and how they illustrate or tell the story of the character. So. Yeah, Xavier, you're right. Sam Does Art is awesome. He's great. Especially because he's so stylized, and I think he has plenty of channels that talks about style. In fact, you know what? Let me do this really quick to illustrate something, if I can make it simple. Let me grab a scratch piece of paper. Okay, so here's one way to look at it. Let's just say I want to draw a head, right? You could approach it, you know, usually it's a circle, right? Now let's draw. Let's do this. You can see it better. Oops. Oh. So here's the skull, right? And then you got the middle of the face. And then you have like the chin and the shape of the face. So you could approach it like that, like it's a circle. Or you could go, let's just say I have my style and I'm like, okay, well, I want a sharper chin. So usually I just go like this. So right there, because I'm choosing sharper shapes now, basically, or more angles, that begins the stylization, right, for me. And so here are the eyes. So that's how I draw eyes when I'm stylizing. Or, you know, if you want to be realistic, then it's a different approach. So it's all in the shapes that you pick. And let's just say I do another one, and this is more realistic. Probably going to have like softer. So you basically take a shape, like a curve, and then make it either more straight or make it more smooth, or you drag it down more. Or if you're in art school, you know, they teach you to draw with like this. You know, how you hold a pencil also does matter a little bit too, so, or matters quite a bit actually. And if I want like really long, broad shapes that are straighter, I hold my pencil further out, so, you know. So I drag the shapes along, but, so yeah, really the difference is the curves, and like it might be the same, you might be drawing a head, but how much curve or angles you put into it will determine your style. And if you watch enough of the people you like, you tend to kind of gravitate towards that, you know. And the more you do it, obviously, the more confident your lines are, and the less like scratchiness your lines will appear, basically. So that's my quick explanation of it. Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, you guys are recommending a lot of really good. What's the paper color? Thanks, Maurice. Yes, pencil pages, that's a Blackwing pencil, and it's really good for when I'm trying to draw really dark, so I've been using that a lot lately. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but sometimes I have like, I shade it in with my pencils, and I kind of like the small, fine lines. And so if I want to do that, then I have to get like my brush to be a little bit more of a dry brush so that I don't lose any of the texture. So let's see if I could show you right here. Because I don't want it to be like really thick lines. I just like shading it like this. And the thing with like getting your own style, it starts to become like a subconscious thing that you do, where when I'm drawing, I'm so focused on maybe the storytelling and their facial expressions that whatever style I've inherited or that I like, it kind of like, it kind of comes through, you know? And especially because I follow a lot of artists for so long that I kind of like pick up a little bit of their style and everything, and then somehow it molds into my own style. See Art Class 101. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Those panel borders are thick. Yes, they are. Wait till you shrink them, then it's like tiny. What's up, Vince? Smiley vampire tattoo. I know, consistency, right? I need to make sure I draw it over and over again. So Echo's asking what paper I'm using. I use the Eon art boards, and this one is Strathmore, I think. I ran out of Eon boards, which I'll show you what I have. So these are the two pages or papers that I use. Where is it at? Oh, okay, right here. So this is my favorite. I've been using them for a long time. Eon. So Eon, it's like eonprod.com, I think, and they are the best. Brett is one of my favorite peoples. I've been working with him for a long time, but when I run out of Eon boards while I'm waiting for my order, I just get the Strathmore that you could get at Michael's or whatever. It's not the most expensive. 11 by 17. So. Yes, this is the Strathmore Echo. So Cash, yeah, that's awesome. So Mirka Andolfo, she does really cool, I guess you could call them, is it furries? Furry based, yeah. Some really good stuff. So if you want inspiration, she's a good artist to go to if you haven't already seen her stuff. Hello, Jonathan. Jonathan asked, how do I know on the manga page how to place the characters? It's eye flow. So it's like for me, it's like a Z shape a lot of times because you're reading I'm reading from left to right, or you could, right to left in Japan. So you basically just, see. So the flow goes, depending on the story in the panel, like you want an establishing shot, you maybe want it further back. And I know it's going to flow from here, down here, down here, down here, here, here. And then this kind of meets right here, and it goes this way. And oh, sorry, you can't even see what I'm doing. So it goes here, the read is like this, and then he gets punched in the face, and then you get this, and then this. I mean, it's not an exact science for me, even though it should be. I'm trying to get better at, my flow. Oh, Vince, yes, Pocky needs his own episode, and I'm going to have an episode of just me inking a Pocky page, I guess. Oh yeah, Murdoch, panel flow, I think like, when I get it right, I get so excited and happy. There's going to be a special backer tier for the Kickstarter when it's just Pocky-centric. Pocky t-shirts, Pocky mugs, Pocky stickers, Pocky keychains, Pocky comic book. That cat's going to have his own thing. Voodoo, do I play the guitar in the back? I practice with it. John plays the guitar, but he's still my guitar, so it's technically mine. I haven't had a chance to practice. I know basic chords, and that's the extent of it. But when I have more time, I will serenade you guys with like my guitar playing. It's an Ibanez electric, so electric acoustic. Oh, cool. Lorna Shore. I should look into that. Yeah, Morris, you'll buy all of the Pocky stuff. I'm sure Pocky would appreciate that. By the way, Pocky passed away a few months ago. He was, I think he was 8 years old, maybe, or 10, I don't remember. But yeah, poor guy's gone, so rest in peace, Pocky. I actually, yeah, I cried quite a bit. But you know what? He lives on with the comic book, so that's kind of my gift to you guys, to have Pocky live forever. He's a cute cat. Very special guy. Pocky graphic tablets, Pocky pencils, Pocky book bag. Oh my gosh, yeah. Pocky and Garrus. Garrus is the kitty with the wings, the black hat, the hologram kitty. That's his best friend, and Garrus also passed away a few years ago, so they're both no longer with us. You know, it's tough. But yeah, you know, what's nice is, the nice thing about art is you could keep something alive for as long as it's around, if you write and draw about it. It's funny, well, it's not funny actually, but you know, there's a couple characters I've drawn recently that look like my mom and my dad. I'm like, huh, I wasn't even trying. It's pretty interesting how that works. I guess, you know, you think about them so much. Hey, what's up, Eric? What is up, man? I missed ya. You're here for the love of drawing. Eric, I thought you were here for the love of me. How was your guys' podcast? I think you have one every Monday, right? The Ink Pulp podcast with Eric Canetti, Sean, and Matteo, and special guests. Pencil pages, yeah. Sometimes they do sell them in singles, the Blackwing, every so often. I haven't looked recently, but I know every time I go to an art store or like one of those like curated craft stores, they always have really cool pencils. And the Blackwing. It's usually never at an art store. It's always at like a boutique or something fancy. It's a fancy pencil. Oh, nice. Morris, you have Pocky sketches. Yeah, sweetness. I have plenty more where that came from. He's fun to draw because he's always grouchy. Eric, don't mention them because their egos will explode. Well, it takes one to know one, right? I have an ego. You have an ego. We all have egos. That's why we draw for a living. Olo markers, pencil pages, yeah. I think John has some of those. I haven't tried them out yet. I wonder if they're all dried out and stuff now. Yeah, rest in peace, Pocky. He was a good cat, and I'm gonna keep him alive in my comic book. There's a little inside joke with Pocky and nuggets, chicken nuggets, and your guys are gonna see what it is. So, what's up with John today, Vince? He's plotting a way to destroy you this season on fantasy football. I'm not joking. He's literally doing the whole thing. He was on the stream earlier, though, Vince. If you wanted to catch what he's up to, then yeah, you missed him. But he's plotting to destroy all of us this season. So, I don't doubt me because I haven't really done any research. Shrimpy, Cash. No, I don't know who Shrimpy is. I'll look Shrimpy up. Oh no, Vince. John is in the chat. Uh-oh, here goes. Round 1, fight. John and Vince. Hello, Emilio from Argentina. Oh, sorry, Emiliano. My apologies. What's up, Liam? Thank you so much for stopping by, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, you and John are on okay terms until you see what he's been plotting against you, Vince. But I'm plotting against all of you, so. Oh, you mean like, let's see. So these pencils, so these are the other black wings that I have. Sometimes because I'm just such a pencil geek, I will basically try different ones just because it's fun. Fun to use them, and they're so pretty. It makes me feel pretty when I use them. Oh, look at them. Oh my gosh, that's why I have so many art supplies. Can never get enough. Jonathan, do I create the story by drawing the comic? Do you mean like, do I draw on the paper and write the story at the same time, or do you mean do I write and draw the book? Did you create the story by drawing the comic? So I created this story as well as I'm the artist on this and the colorist. So that's all I know for sure. Pretty sure Black Wings have the same lead as Mitsubishi. CF, yeah, you're right. I think Black Wings do have the same lead profile as Mitsubishi's, because I have those too, and they feel the same, but I don't know what the grades are considered, whether it's H. It feels like it's between H, sorry, all the Black Wings I have are like HB and 2B and B and above. Nothing harder than that from what I could tell. You know, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me again for, what is it, the third or second Saturday in a row. It makes me feel special because I'd hate to take you away from all the cool stuff you could do. Unless, of course, it's like 12 o'clock at night over there where you're from. Well, I guess I'm keeping you from bed and all the Netflix TV shows and stuff. Shupa Mikey Cash? I don't know who that is. I have another artist to look up now. We're making progress, you guys. I'm so happy. There's not a day that goes by where I'm not a little depressed that I didn't actually get to work on the book or push it far along enough, so. And honestly, I haven't seen some of these pages for a few months, so I had like bad memories of how they looked, so I was kind of cringing. But I'm glad I kind of worked through that, so I'm okay with some of these right now. I know it's relaxing to do art together. If you guys are drawing along or inking or just any kind of art, I mean, it's kind of cool. It's a good thing I don't have like my heavy metal music on and stuff. Then it's not relaxing. It's just like, let's go. But I do have a playlist for Neo Wonderland on Spotify, and I listen to that when I'm working on the book. So I left it in the link description last week, but you know what? I think I'll do it again this week on this one. Oh, jeez. My camera died. Okay, bands. One second. What are they called? A lot of them are from the cyber... Okay, what are they called? Should I open my Spotify really quick? Yes, let's do that. Hope I don't get in trouble or destroy something. 1 second. You know what? I'm sorry, you guys. Let me post the Spotify link down below so you see all the bands that I listen to, because right now it's spacing. I'm spaced. But of course I listen to like Metallica, which I don't know if you guys consider that metal, because that's not quite metal, is it? So it's like, what is it? What time is it now? Okay, you guys, I'm gonna draw for another 6 minutes, and then I have to get to dinner. 6 or 10, between 6 to 10 minutes. Yeah, Metallica is awesome. Yeah, I don't, for some reason, because there's heavier music than Metallica, I don't feel like they're metal, so, but yeah, I love their classics. But that band escapes me because they were in Cyberpunk 2077 as well on the soundtrack, I believe. And yeah, I don't remember their name. Okay. How does that look? Like I tell you guys, I'm always like cautious about inking faces because if I mess up, then it's like, ah, oh, now I gotta use my nifty, what is it called? Poshka. That's how I correct my mistakes. But just so you guys know, if you use like a water-based ink and you try to correct it and it's not dry, I mean, even if it's dry, it starts to smudge and it looks really not so good. So I'm really careful about these. And I think after this page, I'm probably going to be a lot more thoughtful about what kind of inks I'm going to use going forward, like if it's going to be water-based or just archival permanent ink, then I could fix it better, you know. So in fact, let me show you the inks that I'm going to be using for this book. So I haven't used this yet. I was waiting for the special moment for when I actually start this book. I was going to use this ink. So it's really super fancy. And it looks nice. And then I got another Sumi 60 here that I'm going to be using. And one more. Okay. This one is the Kiritake Black 60, so it's really super thick. It dries really quickly, so can't see it. But, so those are my inks for this time around. I tried using the other stuff, but I don't know if I like how they look. And like, these ones are a little watered down. This is like the other kind of ink. This is the Deleter Black 4. So. Morris, yes, I did see the gameplay for the new Resident Evil. It's like, what a way to get me not to play it. I mean, it looks so scary. I'm going to have to watch somebody else playing it on YouTube because I don't have the guts to play the game. Let's put it that way. Let's see. Yeah, Trevor, I agree. Yeah, metal has changed quite a bit. Sumi Ink with the white label, Richard Cashman. Yeah, Poshka markers are like a lifesaver to me. And I think a lot of people nowadays, you've discovered Poshka. Junkum Art, hey, hello from Brazil, what's up? I feel like this is a good time to be streaming for you guys because there's a couple of you from Brazil right now, so that's awesome. The Deleter Black 4 is thick. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm probably going to have to water it down quite a bit. I haven't used it for a year or so, so it's been a minute. I actually bought a bunch of the Kiritake Menzo brushes a few years ago, so I have like a bunch that I try not to mess them up, but if I did, I actually have a few. And I mean, I guess that's why I do it, because I did use the super black ink, and it, yeah, my pen, what is it? My brush was pretty destroyed, so. Yeah, Xavier, the game is terrifying. So I'll watch someone else play that one. I'm going to finish the Resident Evil 4 remake first before I even attempt that one. So Maybe I'll stream on Twitch. You guys can watch me scream like a girl. Like, of course I'm going to scream like a girl. But yeah, I was playing the game not that long ago, and the chainsaw guy was coming after me, and I almost died, and I shot him at the right time, and he just fell right in front of me. I was like, oh my god, I did it. So scary. Hello from Poland. Awesome. Is it Rika Sort? Awesome. Sean, yeah, Resident Evil is one of my favorite games of all time. It was the first PlayStation game I ever owned, so. I remember when Resident Evil 4 came out on the GameCube, and I was like, what is this beautiful thing that I see here? See, I screwed up. Ah, okay. So, oh, here it is. Oh yeah, Dino Crisis was awesome. I didn't play it, my brother did though. Capcom games were the best. Devil May Cry and Street Fighter. Ah, whatever. I'll fix it later. Yeah, Woody, I should be a little more careful with not destroying things, but I have so many art supplies, and I like to experiment to see what it does, and sometimes art supplies get destroyed along the way in the process. Sacrificed. Yeah, Xavier, like the new Resident Evil remake games, I don't know if you want to call it remakes, but they're so different and just epic. So they went out of their way to make it special. So now when a new game comes out, I'm like always excited just to see it. I probably won't play it because it's scary. Too scary. And this new main character, I forgot what her name is. She reminds me of Ashley from Resident Evil 4, where like she's so helpless, and I don't want to be that helpless when I'm playing Resident Evil. Like that's why it's nice to play as like Chris or Leon or Jill, you know. Hello, Dana. Good morning to you. Ori games? I have not played that. Funny thing is, I never cried in a game, but Ori took it back to the next level. Aw. I do cry when I play video games, though. I remembered my brother played this one. I didn't get to play much of it. Was Metal Gear Solid 4 when I saw Old Snake and I knew he was dying, and even from the beginning, I was just like bawling. Just because he was such a badass, and to see that he was this old and, you know, dying, it was really sad. So that was one of my favorite storylines from a game. Oh my gosh, like you guys, when the first Resident Evil, you know, when we first meet Nemesis and he's in that glass and he breaks out of it and he starts chasing, like, not chasing after you, he's just walking after you slowly, and then he just swings at you and you're basically almost dead. That's freaking scary. Till this day, it's like the scariest moment ever in game history, at least for me. Because you never, you know, like it's the first time you run into him, and you know, you don't know how much energy he's going to take, and there was no like YouTube back then, so you had to like kind of figure it out. So I will look into Ori. Sorry. Camera's breaking. Turning off. Resident Evil 7 is the scariest. Yeah, I guess so, huh? Because you're so helpless at first. And I think it's just the vantage point, the first person perspective was really creepy. I hope the camera turned back on, so it didn't go out for too long. Let's see. All right. I think we will continue next. Let's go for Saturday, you guys. If I'm at my desk, what do you think? Oh, hey Brian. I'm so sorry. We're about ready to wrap it up today, but I'm definitely going to be back next Saturday, you guys. What do you think? Saturday work for you? Same time? Same bat time? Same bat channel? Same Sia time? Same Sia channel. I said that last week. It's pretty cheesy. Saturday. Okay, you guys. Saturday again. It's cool because, like, you know, if you look it up online, they always tell you to stream during the weekend. I'm like, I don't know, really? People want to see me on a weekday when they get off work? I don't know. Yeah, same time. It starts 10 p.m. here, like France. Okay, perfect. We have locked down the time to be hanging out, you guys. Thank you so much, Morris. Come on, you guys. I get it all the time, Xavier. Like, see you later. I've heard that all my life as a kid. I'm like, haha, so original. But now I actually love it. So I tell people my name is Sia, like, see you later. And they're like, are you trying to give me a hint here? Like, no, that's my name. Oh my gosh. I will see you guys later. I'm just joking. Yes, perfect. So next Saturday, let's shoot for next Saturday. And we will work on more pages and stuff. And updates on the book and everything, of course. Thank you guys so much. So, as always, thanks for stopping by, hanging out with me. And we'll definitely hang out again next week. So I will look back at the chats to see what you guys recommended. I looked up, like, all the games and different artists and stuff. And I'll add some stuff to the description so that you guys, you know, could figure out, like, what channels are really good for learning art style and things like that. So awesome, you guys. Well, hey, again, thanks for hanging out with me on Saturday. So I will see you next Saturday. I'm excited. Thank you so much again, you guys. Hi from Taiwan. Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for stopping by for the bye, you guys. This was fun. This was fun hanging out with everybody. And you guys are, like, talking to each other. It's awesome. We've built ourselves a little community here. So, okay, you guys. Well, you have a good rest of your day and weekend. So I will see you guys soon. Bye.